Time for the news. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Njue, and Lensa Odingo is my colleague on the bottom right of your screen, handling the sign language interpretation. Time for the news. We begin the Judicial Service Commission, where a record 1,714 individuals have applied for the 100 available vacant positions for magistrate positions advertised by the Judicial Service Commission. In a statement, JSC says that following the lapse of the application window on the 7th of July, they are embarking on the next phase of shortlisting and inviting applicants for the interviews. Following the application deadline, 94 individuals applied for the position of Court of Appeal judge against 15 available slots, while 376 applied for the position of High Court judge against 20 available slots. The Environment and Lands Division, with 10 vacancies, attracted the interest of 242 applicants, while 253 applicants applied for 5 vacant positions in the Kisii Court. The Commission has cautioned the public it does not charge any fee at any stage of the recruitment process, pledging a fair process to all applicants. Elsewhere, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has reassured diplomatic partners and investors globally that Kenya remains a nation anchored in strong institutions and a progressive constitution. The Prime Cabinet Secretary said Kenya remains committed to upholding constitutional doctrines and the rule of law at all times. Mudavadi spoke when he presided over the 145th anniversary of the French National Day at the French Embassy in Nairobi.
During the 145th anniversary of the French National Day, commonly known as the Bastille Day, designated as France's national holiday in 1880, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi took time to assure diplomatic partners and investors of Kenya's commitment to constitutionalism and democratic governance.
We are committed to providing and maintaining a stable and predictable environment for investment and collaboration.
Mudavadi said the country's regular election cycle after every 5 years by the Constitution is a further assurance and commitment to democratic governance and institutional integrity.
Our Constitution, adopted through a national referendum with 70% public approval, affirms the will of the Kenyan people.
French Ambassador to Kenya, Arnaud Njue, on his part lauding the strong bilateral ties that Kenya and France share, even as he called for peace among Kenyans exercising their right to picket.
Tafadhalini tusisahau kwamba amani ni muhimu sana katika ujenzi wa taifa. Mimi binafsi ninatumai Kenya ya kesho itakuwa bora kuliko ya leo.
The government of Kenya continues to defend the constitutional right to peaceful assembly, demonstration and picketing under Article 37, while in equal measure firmly upholding the principle that such actions must remain non-violent and unarmed.
Preparations are in the meantime underway for the first ever Africa-France Summit to be hosted in a non-Francophone African country here in Nairobi. Kenya and France will co-host the summit next year. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
In other news, Cabinet Secretary for Public Service Geoffrey Ruku is now warning latecomers and absentee civil servants that they will be treated as ghost workers. Speaking during an impromptu visit at government offices in Nyeri during a surprise inspection of government offices in the county, Ruku condemned the laxity and disregard for government office working hours, calling it a betrayal of public trust and misuse of taxpayers' resources. The early morning visit caught scores of public servants off guard. CS Ruku ordered latecomers be locked out and promised strict disciplinary action in a renewed push to enforce accountability and professionalism in the public sector.
Working with them in any government office who doesn't report work at the required time And those who report to work and they disappear, we'll be treating them as ghost workers moving forward. As long as you are paid a salary from monies which government collects from the people of Kenya, unapaswa kuwajibika na kuwa kwa ofisi ile masaa inatakikana.
The Kirinyaga Council of Bishops has urged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC to uphold accountability and ensure credible elections in 2027. Led by Bishop Carson Maina, the council emphasized the importance of fairness and integrity in the commissioner's role. While in Kirinyaga, the bishops have also called on the Gen Z to avert destructive protest and to actively participate in the 2027 electoral process by registering as voters.
Kenya is our common heritage from God, and it is our responsibility to protect this nation through patriotism, prayer, and a deep sense of individual responsibility, particularly in and during the times of tension and conflict. 2, though the Constitution gives us right for peaceful protest, picketing and acts, and with absolute awareness, there are issues that concern all Kenyans of goodwill right.
National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has hailed the government for what he says is prioritizing education through employment of the highest number of teachers within the shortest period since independence. Speaking to Bumula constituency residents in Bungoma County, Wetangula said 76,000 teachers have been employed in 2 years and an additional 24,000 teachers are set to be recruited under the 2025-26 financial year.
Tangu Rais William Ruto aingie ushukani, mumeambiwa na ni ukweli, ameajiri kwa miaka miwili walimu 76,000. Na katika budget ya mwaka huu tumeweka pesa zingine zimekadiriwa kuajiri walimu wengine 24,000 ili walimu kwa miaka 3 wagonge 100,000. Hatujawahi kuwa na kitu kama hicho Kenya hii tangu tupate uhuru.
In other news, an assistant chief in Limuru is under investigation after allegedly assaulting a man who later succumbed after he was allegedly caught stealing maize in Karanje village, Kiambu County. Ngecha Tigoni, assistant chief, is said to have fatally attacked Nemuel Ocharo, a suspected maize thief. Angry residents and villagers stormed his home demanding answers before police intervened. The Assistant County Commissioner Mbasi Kihimo confirmed investigations are ongoing and the case file will be submitted to the ODPP for possible prosecution. The body of the deceased was moved to Tigoni Hospital mortuary.
Mrefu na anamjua. Tunataka haki ichukuliwe.
Kutoka hiyo siku hakuna mtu tumekuta anatusika mkono. Tuko tu hivyo. Mimi nilikuwa nataka usaidizi. Huyu ndugu yangu ndiye alikuwa anatafuta. Huyu bibi yake yani alikuwa anataka kuna shida kidogo, hayuko kamili.
The Kenya Meteorological Department is advocating for the introduction of early warning systems to reduce the effects of adverse weather conditions such as floods and drought. According to the department, the impact of severe weather conditions has resulted in casualties and damage to property, which in turn affects the economic output in affected areas. Speaking during a weather forecast workshop at a Garissa hotel, KMD Deputy Director Kennedy Thiongo said The warning system will aid the country in preparing better and avert further losses of lives, and damage to property.
Bali wataweza kuinterpret ndio waweze kupelekea watu mashinani, ndio watu waweze kujitayarisha.
Sasa kuna zile mipangilio ama tutafanya ile vitu zinaitwa early actions kuchua ili kusaidia communities kuwapunguzia ile uzito ya ile impact ya drought.
Hii mambo ya utapiri ya early warning huwa inatusaidianga ndio mkulima aweze kufanya right decision, aweze kuuza hizo ng'ombe mapema, hata kama ni ng'ombe ama ngamia ama mbuzi, kwa sababu ukame huwa inashika vitu zote.
Another news, learning at Maikona High School in North Hall, Marsabit County was temporarily disrupted as irate parents protested, demanding the sacking of 5 teachers for instituting corporal punishment. According to the parents, 36 students suffered severe body injuries after they were punished for allegedly declining to celebrate after the school failed to provide them with a meal during a music competition in which they emerged victorious.
Learning activities were brought to a near standstill on Monday after angry parents gathered outside Maikona High School gate demanding action against 5 teachers accused of beating the students. The parents accused the teachers of corporal punishment, querying the justification of the severe punishment.
Sasa hiyo watoto wametoka trip wakaingia Sunday hapa. Sasa watoto wakiamka asubuhi, watoto hajapea chochote, ndio akaanza kupiga watoto.
Watoto wale waliumizwa ni 36 na hiyo medical report hospitali iko na OCS hizi.
Jambo lililotendeka ni jambo la fedhea, la aibu, na istahili kukua katika Kenya ya kisasa. Maana Kenya kuna haki na kila mtu angefaa kufuata sheria. Hakuna mwenye yako juu zaidi ya sheria.
They are now demanding immediate action against the teachers.
Mimi nataka huyu mwalimu wale walitandika hao watoto walifanya mnyama hiyo hao watoto 4 na pamoja na principal Dhahabu atolewe hapa, na hatutaki kuona hao na macho, na wakiwa hapa sisi hatutafanya kazi na yeye.
Na sisi tunataka serikali ichukuliwe hatua haraka, alafu achukue huyu Dhahabu aipeleke mahakamani ama atoe mali anataka apeleke na atolewe haraka. Sisi hatutaki yeye na hatutaki kuona.
Marsabit County Teacher Service Commission Director Ali Hussein Abdi says investigations are underway and if found culpable, action will be taken against the teachers.
We have dispatched an investigation team to the ground consisting of the County Quality Assurance Officer, the TSC Sub-County Director, the County Director of Education, so that they bring us the report. Any person found culpable in this matter will be dealt with as per the laid down laws.
The school management, however, declined to comment on the matter. Joseph Ohungu for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, 2 residents of Kutus in Kirinyaga County have received a major boost to their livelihood through the Giving Back to Society initiative by a local organization. A local dairy farmer, Henry Mwendia, is among the beneficiaries of the initiative that saw him get 1 million shilling support from Tujiamini initiative. He says the funds will help grow his business and support youth talent in the region. Meanwhile, Patricia Wanjiru, a food and nutrition expert, was also recognized for her efforts in promoting indigenous farming practices in the Mount Kenya region.
The project looked at rewarding people 500,000 shillings. When we sat with a lot of them and we realized that there's more that can be done, to touch more lives and have more impact. So we decided to improve the amount from 500,000 to 1 million shillings.
Access to financial services in the country is set for a major boost following the rollout of artificial intelligence AI tools by various local financial institutions in collaboration with the Craft Silicon tech firm. Speaking during the SACCO Summit 2025 in Nairobi, Craft Silicon CEO Kamal Budhabati said the newly developed AI-based services for financial institutions will streamline operations and boost service efficiency. This will be achieved through leveraging the AI space for both individuals and small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs across the country.
Products, especially coming out from Kenya for Kenyan consumers. So we are also building the guardrails around the AI so that it always remains in the lane and the security risks that you are claiming are reduced. But it's a good technology and we need to focus on it and make sure that it benefits the consumers.
Being a financial institution, technology is our oxygen. So with Craft Silicon, we have been able to grow numbers, grow volumes in terms of revenue and also serving our members.
There has been a lot of changes. There has been more agility in how the system has been performing. The turnaround time in terms of onboarding customers has improved. And also the channels that we have included, the mobile banking, the internet banking, which is making it easier for our customers to improve.
We now head to the coastal county of Kwale, where religious leaders in the county have joined hands with health officials in a spirited campaign to increase the uptake of measles and typhoid vaccines among children. The initiative is part of a nationwide drive by the Ministry of Health targeting children aged 9 months to 14 years. In Kwale County, churches and mosques are taking center stage in a health campaign aimed at safeguarding children from preventable diseases. Through sermons and community forums, the religious leaders are dispelling myths while encouraging families to take advantage of the ongoing free vaccination program. The campaign began earlier this month and is expected to run across the country, targeting millions of children.
Makanisa. So tumeona watu wengi wakijitokeza na tunaona inakuwa in large numbers ikikuwa kwa msikiti ama ikiwa kwa kanisa, kwa sababu wanaona hii sindano, wameelezewa kuwa hii sindano iko salama.
Tumehamasisha watu makanisani na kuonyesha kwamba hii chanjo hasina shida. Ni chanjo kama hii ya typhoid inapewa watoto wadogo kwa sababu wanashika uchafu, wanaanza kuumwa na matumbo, vitu kama hizo, na wengi, maana tumewaambia makanisani, wengi wameamini.
Tulikuwa tukiwahamasisha kwamba ni chanjo ambazo kwamba ni salama na zimetoka serikalini. Kwa hiyo watu wote wajitokeze, waje katika sehemu hii waweze kupata chanjo hii.
Unaona hao viongozi wa kidini, mapastors, mashehe wamesaidia sana kuhamasisha jamii. Kwa hivyo hata tulikuwa tukienda kwa ground, tunakuta ground tayari au community washajua.
Now, residents of Nyamache sub-county in Kisii are living in fear following constant attacks by an unknown animal believed to have strayed from the Masai Mara National Park. The animal, suspected to be a cheetah with 2 cubs, is said to have so far killed 10 dogs. The residents have been unable to carry out their daily chores, including escorting their animals to local streams for water, afraid they might be the next victims. The residents are now calling on the Kenya Wildlife Service to act immediately.
Kusikia manduru ya mbwa. Kusikia manduru ya mbwa tukatoka. Kutoka tu hivi tukaona mnyama mkubwa ambaye hatujui ni vizi ni nini. Tukateremuka tu. Kufika tu hapa kwa njia tukapata hiyo mbwa imeuliwa.
Hata mbuzi tumeogopa kufunga hapa kwa sababu hiyo mnyama inakula mbwa na hiyo mbuzi yote inakula, hata kuku inakula.
Kitu imeleta uoga mingi sana kwa familia hapa. Mbuzi atupeleke kwa mtoni, ng'ombe atupeleke kwa mtoni, chai West Chuna.
Sasa kimaliza maumbwa sikitakuja kwa watoto, kinakuja kwa wanawake waitu. Sasa serikali saidia sisi tamani.
Tunaomba serikali waweze kutusaidia
ili waweze kutoa huyu mnyama hapa juu. Kuna wanawake na watoto ambao wanaenda wanatafuta kuni kwa msituni. Huyu mnyama anaweza uwa watoto ama wanawake.
Away from that, a mobile court sitting in Nyatike in Migori County is expected to rule on the fate of 53 families affected by the implementation of the Lower Kuja irrigation scheme. A team of legal experts and land surveyors, accompanied by officials from the Land Acquisition Tribunal, had previously visited the homes of the affected families to assess the extent of damage caused during the project's implementation. The chairperson of the Land Acquisition Tribunal, Dr. Nabil Orina, stated that the families filed cases against the National Land Commission and the National Irrigation Authority over issues including lack of compensation, flooding, and restricted access to their homes. Dr. Orina affirmed that the tribunal would independently evaluate each case on its merit to determine appropriate compensation for the affected families.
Akufukuzaye hakwambii toka. Utaona kwa vitendo, na tumeona kwa vitendo. Tumeondoka bila kutarajia. Siku iliyofika siku ya kuondoka, kila mmoja alijichagulia aelekee wapi. Maana maji yalijaa kote kote. Sasa ajabu ndo hiyo. Hatujalipwa.
Most of the complaints are in regard to lack of compensation or, the effects of the project itself on their parcels of land, including, flooding and cutting access to their homes.
The law requires that if a project displaces citizens, and it is the primary responsibility of any government to protect its people.
And a section of traders in Juja town, Kiambu County, under the Juja Business Community Forum, say they have partnered with police officers to enhance security to avoid incidences of looting and destruction of businesses during protests that turn violent. Speaking during a sensitization meeting with traders in Juja, the forum's chairperson John Maina urged business owners to support the forum's initiative to avoid destruction of livelihoods.
Kataa mambo haya ya maandamano na kuharibu mali, na tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutakuwa tuna safety yetu, lazima tuchunge mali ambayo tuko nayo.
Wale wajumbe, wale wabuge walitajatajwa hivi ati ndio wametuma watu, tumewapatia irani ya kwamba hatutaki kusikia hivyo tena,
na tumeamua kwamba ukitokea jambo hiyo lazima zote tuungane na tushirikiane siku hiyo. Yes. Ndivyo, hakuna wakati watakuja wawe kwamba wanatu overwhelm just like that.
Naomba watu wa Juja tushikane, na wenye hawako kwa group wa join, na siku ya maandamano tunakuwa haraka.
The United Nations Women and Week have challenged female journalists to seek high-ranking leadership positions in the media industry and contribute to decision-making. Despite having more female journalists as per the Media Council database released in November 2024, only 1,227 female journalists are accredited compared to over 1,600 male journalists. Speaking during a media sensitization organized by UN Women and Week, the stakeholders also urged journalists to be cognizant of gender equality and ensure stories are well balanced.
Media, whether as news sources and also women working in the media space. But as time has gone by, technology also has helped, and there has been a push for more representation of women, and actually for AMWIC to be formed in 1982 was actually to advance the role of women in media production and story production. So we've been advancing for the last 43 years, having more women in the media space, and not just the media space, but even in the decision-making table.
So many women today have their own media platforms, but also in our newsrooms, especially the mainstream media, we have women in some key decision-making positions. Although there's still so much that needs to be done, because we make 10 steps forward and 100 backwards when it comes to women in leadership. So you find, I would say right now in mainstream media in Kenya, I doubt there is any woman sitting in the position of managing editor. Because many times you find a woman rising when they reach a certain place, a certain position, then they somehow disappear.
Because like I've shared what we focused on then. Now,
AMWIC, or the Association of Media Women in Kenya, takes us to a fast break at about 25 minutes of the hour. But when we come back, we still have more news, including business and also sports.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News, and many thanks for keeping me company. Moving on, police in Nambale sub-county in Busia County have launched a manhunt for Ugandan herbalist who has conned over 10 Kenyans, an amount totaling to about 1.7 million shillings in less than 3 weeks before threatening them. The suspect, Kisii Hakim, who has been masquerading as Dr. Paul Okello, Mkaliwa village, managed to con the complainants through social media accounts using the image and previous videos of Dr. Okello. However, the legitimate Dr. Okello has come out to clear his name before the press and is calling on the police to apprehend the Ugandan herbalist.
Apeli ambaye anatumia majina zangu na picha yangu kwa Facebook anajiita tieni Dr. Paul Okello na namba zake za simu anaweka namba zake tofauti. Hata nilijaribu kutahadharisha wananchi, nikawaeleza kwamba ukitumia mtu hata shilingi moja uone hilo jina sio Dr. Paul Okello ama sio Paul Okello, usijaribu kuendelea na yeye biashara yote ya matibabu ya kienyeji. Pale mtu huyu aliweza kunaswa juzi tarehe 8. Hao maafisa ambao ni wadisha wa Nambale wakatuhakikishia ya kwamba huyo mtu hatawachiliwa paka complainants wote wakuje waandikishe taarifa huyu mtu awasilishwe kotini.
And collaboration between security personnel and residents in Kilifi County is being credited for enhanced peaceful coexistence in the region. Unlike other parts of the country where tensions have flared during Gen Z-led protests, stakeholders in Malindi say the police have maintained positive relations with the public that has seen calm prevail even in the face of protests in other parts of the country.
Security stakeholders in Malindi are praising a growing collaboration between law enforcement and the public, describing it as a model for peaceful engagement. Led by the Progress Welfare Association Malindi, PWAM, the group says this partnership has flourished through monthly cleanup exercises that began in 2019.
I think this is one way that the community can create synergies with our security departments and also show the animosity can be controlled if we collaborate more.
The cleanups events stretching from Sir Ali bin Salim Primary School to Malindi Roundabout have only created a cleaner town but injected over 50 million shillings into the local circular economy through plastic waste recycling.
Through the cleanups, we've also been integrating very well with the police. You know, the circular economy has really grown. The money that is circulating in Malindi through solid waste upcycling projects is about 50 million.
Other stakeholders echo the sentiment. John Randu, chair of the Border Association in Malindi, says the police has helped reduce crime, while Emmanuel Kalu from Malindi praised the officers' consistent participation in the cleanups.
Ushirikiano huo umetusaidia. Tumeweza kuboresha usalama katika mji wetu na tunazidi kushirikiana na walinda usalama.
Julius Ogina, Lunchtime News.
Now, 2 residents of Kutus in Kirinyaga County have received a major boost to their livelihood through the Giving Back to Society initiative by a local organization. A local dairy farmer, Henry Mwendia, is among the beneficiaries of the initiative that saw him get a cool 1 million shilling support from Tujiamini initiative. I think it's something that we had already run a little bit earlier on in our news. But in other news, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
And it is high time they realize who the real Njue is.
She's been working for us in Njue for quite some time now.
Really?
I thought you're the one who was running the show.
Come on, I'm trying to help everyone here.
Of which you're doing a very terrible job. Let's just deal with what is at hand here.
You know what? No one messes with my family.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Well, go on, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth radio vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best. on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva.
DJ Cold.
And me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa Hadija ai Mani especially ukisonga.
A housing company in Gatanga, Murang'a County has issued education scholarship to needy students as well as assisted elderly persons to live a dignified life as part of their socio-corporate responsibility to empower vulnerable populations. The organization CEO Jane Mbayu says they have so far seen more than 100 elderly persons assisted, and plans are underway to offer financial support to young people by sponsoring football teams from Juja, Murang'a, Mwea, Mai Mahiu and Kiambu.
Going to continue maintaining these homes because we're going to have a management company that will ensure that the elegance of these homes is not compromised, the cleanliness of these homes are not compromised, a very good robust security team.
Schools in Kiambu County are now moving from the national grid to solar energy in a move aimed at cutting down high electricity costs and promoting clean, sustainable energy. Kiambu Town Member of Parliament Mashua Waidaka says the shift will ease the financial burden on schools and allow them to focus available resources on improving infrastructure and other needs of the school in the region. Tinganga High School Principal Alice Mushiri praised the move, saying it will greatly reduce pressure on teachers and parents who have been struggling to cover power expenses.
We intend to do that in all the our day schools and the secondary schools in Kiambu sub-county or Kiambu constituency. And this is the very beginning. Next week we are going to Dumberi Primary. We do Dumberi Primary, Dumberi Secondary, and we also do the church, SCK Church. We're also going to go to Riabai. We do the primary school, secondary school, and also the church.
Shule zetu ndizo za kwanza kuwa na mwangaza wa sola Kiambu constituency. Si mheshimiwa amefanya vizuri?
In business, France is targeting Kenya's energy infrastructure and technology sectors as the country seeks to deepen trade between Nairobi and Paris. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says relations between the two nations will be further boosted by the upcoming Africa-France Summit in Nairobi in 2026, which is expected to bring thousands of French investors to Kenya.
In the last 10 years, French companies have invested more than 270 billion shillings in Kenya, with companies like Schneider Electric and logistics giant Bolloré setting up their regional bases in Nairobi. French auto giant Peugeot has also resumed assembling its cars in Kenya after it left the Kenyan market more than a decade ago.
This cooperation spans key sectors, including infrastructure, energy, education, cultural exchange, trade, and regional diplomacy.
In 2019, Kenya and France signed deals worth billions of shillings, including a modern electric tram connecting the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the central business district. However, the land acquisition has stalled the project. According to balance of trade data in the fourth quarter of 2024, France exported 6.5 billion shillings and imported 5.7 billion shillings from Kenya, resulting in a positive trade balance of 746 million shillings. The European country is now moving further with its Kenyan relations, with Kenya inviting more French investors into several Kenyan sectors.
To our diplomatic partners and investors, I reassure you that Kenya remains a nation anchored in strong institutions and a progressive constitution. We are committed to providing and maintaining a stable and predictable environment for investment and collaboration.
Speaking during the 145th anniversary of the French National Day in Nairobi, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has said Nairobi and Paris plan to boost trade and bilateral ties during the upcoming Africa-France Summit in Nairobi in 2026.